The 2026 Mazda CX-5 represents a significant redesign and evolution of Mazda's best-selling compact SUV. Compared with the outgoing model, it's larger, more tech-forward, and aimed at a broader range of buyers. But it's also a departure from some long-standing Mazda character traits. Mazda hasn't overhauled the CX-5's look radically, but the design evolution is unmistakable. The Kodo design language is refined, with sharper lines, a wider stance, and more pronounced lighting elements that align its look with larger Mazda SUVs like the CX-70 and CX-90. The front grille and LED signatures are more sculpted and contemporary, giving it a more grown-up, almost premium vibe. Interestingly, Mazda has replaced the traditional Mazda badge on the tailgate with large Mazda lettering, a trend also seen on other recent models. A stylistic choice that's garnered mixed reactions. Bottom line, it's more modern and visually substantial, but those who loved the classic elegant simplicity of earlier CX-5 generations may be divided. One of the biggest advantages of the 2026 redesign is real gains in passenger room and utility. A 4.5-inch longer wheelbase and increased overall length translate to more legroom and headroom for rear passengers. The cargo area is larger and easier to use thanks to a lower load height and bigger openings, a genuine advantage for families, luggage, or gear. Optional features like a panoramic sunroof boost the sense of space and luxury. Tech has leapt forward, perhaps too far for some purists. Standard is a 12.9-inch touchscreen with an optional 15.6-inch display, Mazda's largest ever. The system runs Google built-in, so apps like Maps and Assistant are natively integrated. And Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are wireless standard. The traditional rotary controller is gone, replaced entirely by touch controls. That simplifies the cabin visually, but many enthusiasts feel it sacrifices tactile usability, especially while driving. Material quality and feel. Mazda still aims at a quality feel with expanded ambient lighting, soft-touch surfaces in higher trims, and thoughtful design touches. Yet some early impressions and owner commentary suggest Mazda may have traded a bit of premium feel for easier-to-clean, more durable surfaces, leaning slightly toward practicality versus luxury, at launch in many Western markets, including North America and Europe. Base engine, a 2.5-liter naturally aspirated four-cylinder with about 187 horsepower, and 185 pound-feet of torque, remains the standard engine. It's paired with a 6-speed automatic and standard all-wheel drive. Typical Mazda driving dynamics apply. No turbo yet. Unlike some recent Mazda models, the turbocharged engine option is not offered at launch in many markets, having been dropped for this generation. For those who crave extra punch, Mazda may encourage them toward the CX-50, which still offers the turbo option. Hybrid on the horizon. Mazda has confirmed a hybrid version arriving soon, expected 2027, that should deliver better efficiency and possibly more power than the base engine. But details are still sparse at this time. Driving dynamics. Mazda is known for sharp handling and enjoyable steering, and the 2026 CX-5 reportedly retains that character, composed and confidence-inspiring, thanks to eye-active all-wheel drive and balanced chassis tuning. However, some critics point out the base engine's power is modest compared with competitors like Honda's turbo option or Toyota's hybrid offerings. Mazda has also hinted at enhanced, hands-free, and semi-autonomous features as part of its next-gen tech stack in some regions. In 2026, the CX-5 sits in a crowded compact SUV class, alongside Toyota RAV4, Honda CR-V, Subaru Forester, and Hyundai Tucson. Strengths: stylish and premium-leaning exterior and interior design, spacious cabin and improved cargo utility. Quote, intuitive Google-based infotainment and modern connectivity. Quote, standard all-wheel drive in many markets. Potential weaknesses: base engine isn't as powerful as some rivals' turbo or hybrid options. Quote, removal of tactile controls and heavier reliance on huge touchscreens is divisive. Some longtime Mazda fans feel the interior character lost part of its premium charm in favor of mainstream practicality. Mazda hasn't released official North America pricing yet. Quote, but expect a slightly higher starting point than the outgoing model given the redesign and added tech. European pricing for the new generation has started around €35,000, $37,000 in some markets. Availability in Western markets like the US and Europe begins late 2025 through early 2026, with reservations already open in some regions. Pros of the 2026 Mazda CX-5. 1. Much better interior space and practicality. The CX-5 is now significantly longer with a longer wheelbase, translating to more rear seat legroom, headroom, and cargo space, a key improvement over the outgoing model. Larger rear door openings also make getting kids and car seats in and out easier. This matters a lot if you're coming from smaller crossovers like the old CX-5, Honda CR-V, or Toyota RAV4, and want more everyday usability without stepping up to a mid-size SUV. 2. Big leap in technology. Mazda has finally gotten serious about modern tech. Standard Google built-in, Maps Assistant and Play, right on the screen. Large screens, 12.9-inch standard display, up to 15.6-inch optional, the largest Mazda has offered. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto come standard. Voice control and intuitive UI improve everyday usability. This is a major advancement over earlier Mazda Connect systems, especially for tech-savvy buyers who prefer integrated nav and services without tethering a phone. 3. Comfort and quietness. Upgraded interior materials and design aim for a more refined feel. With improved insulation that cuts down road and wind noise, great for long drives and highway cruising. Ambient lighting options also make higher trims feel more premium. 4. Standard all-wheel drive. Mazda now includes its iActive AWD across the lineup, which enhances year-round traction and confidence, especially in wet, snowy, or rough road conditions common in many Western markets. 5. Mazda driving dynamics remain strong. While not a sports SUV, Mazda's focus on responsive handling and balanced steering means the CX-5 still feels more engaging behind the wheel than many rivals, a trait Mazda owners often praise. In real-world terms, that means modest acceleration compared with some rivals. Less on-tap torque for highway passing or towing, potentially disappointing for drivers used to turbocharged crossovers. Cons of the 2026 Mazda CX-5. 1. Powertrain may feel underwhelming at launch. The only engine is a naturally aspirated 2.5-liter four-cylinder with about 187 horsepower. There's no turbo option at first, something many buyers expected or hoped for, and the new hybrid isn't available until later. 2. Touchscreen-only controls spark debate. Mazda dropped the classic physical rotary control knob and many hard buttons for infotainment and HVAC functions, instead relying heavily on touchscreen and steering wheel controls. While this matches current trends, it's controversial among enthusiasts and some practical-oriented users. Touchscreens require more visual attention, which some drivers find distracting. Some owners lament losing tactile feedback and muscle memory controls that Mazda previously offered. 3. Potential perception of premium push. Some viewers feel Mazda is moving toward a more premium segment without fully resolving core issues like powertrain enthusiasm and overall value. Discussions from early buyers point to harder interior surfaces in some spots to manage costs, exterior design choices, example, Mazda wordmark instead of classic logo, being polarizing. These changes might alienate traditional CX-5 fans who valued its balance of simplicity and quality. 4. Pricing pressure. Exact pricing hasn't been fully disclosed yet, but expectations are that the 2026 model may start higher than the previous generation. That could put it in closer competition with rivals that offer more power or hybrid options from day one. 5. Hybrid, delayed to 2027. While a hybrid is coming, it won't be there at launch. If fuel economy and electrification matter to you, especially in markets with emissions rules tightening, the lack of a hybrid initially might be a drawback.